You're the inspector, aren't you? Boss Kincannon said you'd be by about the cargo that's been going missing. Gosh, this is so neat. A real-life inspector. What's that like? Have you solved any mysteries yet? Ever had to shoot a suspect? Well, yeah, but they weren't suspects. Right, so the missing cargo. How can I help your investigation? Everyone here at Freight Storage and Processing, for a start. Thing is, the cargo is going missing before the shipments even get to the warehouse. Best I can figure, it's probably getting lost in the shipping yard. As for who has access there, Benton Chan, he's the shipping yard manager, he told me it's mainly just the loading automechs that handle cargo. Could be. Those things'll break if you so much as look at them funny. That's Benton's area, but don't bother asking him for help. Last time I asked him to check the automechs, the whole head told me he couldn't help because he was dead. Yeah, especially when he kept shouting, "Dead people can't hear anything!" at me. On the bright side, I'm sure the dead won't mind if you decide to check those loading automechs out yourself. Hopefully, you're mechanically inclined. That's the weird part. There's no pattern far as I can tell. The thefts don't make sense. I ask you, who would steal a handful of Spacer's Choice Sabers, so dull they can barely cut mud, but leave the spectrum black? Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough to want to steal a Spacer's Choice Saber, full stop? Even to an inspector? Gosh, that must make your job awfully tough. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. I can't decide which one's sadder. Well, I'm no inspector. If there is one, I'm sure you'll find it. That's the weird part. There's no pattern far as I can tell. The thefts don't make sense. I ask you, who would... Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough to want to... Yeah, probably not. No one's dumb enough to think Spacer's Choice Sabers are worth half a damn. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. I can't decide which one's sadder. I wish they hadn't stolen the blue pens. We can never keep enough of those in stock. That's the weird... Ugh. Ugh, nanner spank. Don't spit in my mouth and tell me it's banana flavored. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. I can't decide which one's sadder. That's probably not their motive, no. That's the weird... Ugh. No one's dumb enough to think Spacer's Choice Sabers are worth half a damn. Then there's the most I wish they hadn't stolen the... Oh, before I forget, I figured you might want to access my terminal, so I had a spare keycard made. It's all yours. Oh no, I forgot to delete all of those incriminating messages I sent about which cargo to steal. Nah, I do have a list of cargo that's gone missing though, if that helps any. Hi, Inspector. Keeping your ear to the ground, Inspector? I get it. Oh, I get it. You just missed Bertie Holcomb over at the Copper Bottom Cantina, if that's exciting to you. I'm a Hephaestus Hammers fan myself. Oh, and Burbage 3001 stopped by the warehouse the other day. Needed a replacement part for his synthetic tear dispensing system. I fixed him up. Am I? Heck yes! He's just so shiny and capable and clean. So very clean.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This copy of TK contains 142 fewer pages than a standard copy. The missing pages were likely removed to create sufficient space for the hidden listening device inside.
You figured that out just by looking at it? Huh. We ought to talk shop one of these days.
Inspector, please consider speaking into the device in order to trace the transmission and reveal the receiver's location. Poor woolly cow impression transmitted. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, approximate range. Analysis inconclusive. However, there is a minor accumulation of dust particles present on the book's uppermost surface. The area within a 0.5 meter radius of the book possesses a dust coating comprised of at least twice the number of particles. That is highly likely, Inspector.
What's that you found? No, wait, don't tell me. Let's save it for the big reveal once you've solved the case. Inspector, to what do I owe the pleasure? The original incident? I may... Intimidation has its role in diplomacy. Still, his choice to work with Sublight was indeed a choice. Our combative relationship stems... Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added. Think of it this way. It was a test, and he failed. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted... Alas, I can't. I am, first and foremost, the head of Slug, and it simply wouldn't be good for business. Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business. Oh, that does sound fun, though. Is securing a board seat for Sublight evil enough? Surely we can at least agree that it's grand? Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slights, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less-than-legal business opportunities. Not in front of witnesses, I didn't.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Transmission endpoint discovered. The receiver in this book matches the transmitter to the listening device found in Cedric's office. It's somewhat grime-covered. Based on the accumulated mix of sludge and detritus, the receiver has been present since approximately a week before Helen's death. Due to the high level of foot traffic in this area, this unit is unable to determine who placed the device. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, this loading automechanical's programming does not match factory default settings. The standard defensive protocol has been modified to include an additional trigger. For Type K-19 cargo transport automechanicals, defensive protocol is triggered by attempted interference with cargo, or its transportation, or attempted destruction of the unit. Once triggered, defensive protocol targets the perpetrator and applies lethal force until the target has been deceased for a minimum of 3 minutes. There is a directive in place to initiate defensive protocol should an unsanctioned data log installed in this automechanical be removed. Slug automechanical maintenance records indicate this particular unit is frequently reported as out of position or missing for periods of time.
Loading automechanical unit K-14 is fully operational at 99% power. Please designate the cargo to be transported and its destination. How can this automechanical assist you?
You got it, Cap.
Failsafe successfully disabled. Kill mode deactivated. Ejecting data log 17C. Unit entering standby mode. Have a nice day.
Inspector, to what do I owe the pleasure? Ooh, I love this part. The big reveal. So tell me, what happened? What makes you say that? Damn, you're good. Hacking the Automex. So that was our skimmer's game. But why? Everything that was stolen has seemed random. I certainly see no pattern. So, our culprit had something specific they wished to acquire and used the random theft as a smokescreen. I must say, Inspector, you've done excellent work on this case. Then that just leaves how the culprit knew where their true target would be, or indeed, that slug would soon possess it. Am I right to think what you found in my office earlier was the other half of this listening device? Not quite, Inspector. That listening device belongs to me. I lent it to Halcyon Helen to assist her with role research. Unbelievable. I helped her, gave her whatever she needed. I thought we were doing each other a good turn. As though Helen herself didn't profit from her work. Please, this is a betrayal, Inspector. I do not take betrayal lightly. Helen should consider herself very lucky indeed that she is already among the dead, and that some other bastard beat me to putting her in the ground. Yes, I suppose we have. There is, however, a slight chronological incongruency to it. I now have a motive to kill Halcyon Helen, but Halcyon Helen is already dead. If I'd known Helen was stealing from me, I may very well have killed her, or had her killed. Alas, I did not. Indeed. Incidentally, feel free to stop by after you clear me as a suspect. I won't even say, I told you so. Though I can't vouch for Eileen. I wish you luck with your investigation, though I doubt you'll need it. You'll find Helen's murderer. I'm confident of that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must find a way to excise my anger that minimally damages my business empire. I expect it will involve shooting quite a lot of guns.
I can't hear you laughing!
Oh, you are in for it now.
What floor would you like to visit? Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
Inspector. Closely, I trust. Tell me what you found. That doesn't surprise me. Cedric practically stole his way to Eridanos. He'll do everything in his power to keep you off his trail. With that in mind, do you think Cedric was responsible for Helen's death? No motive. That's disappointing, because it's exactly the conclusion he'd want us to make. Unfortunately, even I don't have the authority to detain Cedric. His line of work is dangerous, though. There's always a chance for an accident. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've already lost Dr. Blossom and Constable Keene, but at least Cedric's alive. The universe is a just place. Are you confident you've finished your investigation? You've questioned all your suspects. I've been waiting for this. Tell me, Inspector, who killed Halcyon Helen? I beg your pardon. You think I killed Halcyon Helen? But you haven't interviewed everyone. I expect you to be thorough. I expect you to deliver the name of Helen's killer. I expect you to deliver results, Inspector. And if you can't withstand the pressure, then I expect you to resign. We're done. Your services are no longer necessary. I'm defensive, Inspector, because I'm under attack. I am assaulted by your perfidious and baseless accusations. You're convinced I murdered Halcyon Helen. Fine. Show me some evidence. If you have no proof, then you have no case, and I have no further use for you. Wait, don't move a muscle. Someone's just tripped my alarm. And my security defenses. And killed my patrols. The distillery is under attack. Someone's after me, Inspector. I need you over here right now. Forget what I said. I'm renewing your contract as of this moment. Damn it, someone's interfering with my transmission. Can you...
Tired of kicking my heels up in the penthouse all day.
All right. I got nothing going on.
What floor would you like to visit?
Don't hurt me!
Please! I'll take this one. Don't hurt me! Please, don't!
Big mistake! Don't you frown at me!
Not gonna let no one bring me down.
You know, they say joy and happiness. It's really more like a dull complacency. Things are fucked. But you have enough spectrum and stop caring for a little bit.
Ah, I see you've jumped. Now that you've seen behind the scenes, I bet you're pretty thirsty. Well, not to worry. We have every flavor of Spectrum available to delight your palate. Please note that tour guests are limited to a maximum of 3 different Rizzo's flavor samples. All beverages must be consumed on the premises. Rizzo's is not responsible for gastronomic distress, mild hallucinations, or damage to your sense of taste.
We're on the job. We are on the job. Can I take mine to go? Here they come!
Can't get away from me! No, sirree, Bob! What's wrong, friendo? Cat got your tongue?
I had a feeling you'd catch up to me sooner or later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd find me standing over the administrator's corpse.
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders? Brace yourself, Inspector. You're about to learn the biggest secret in the Vaporwave industry. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
That must have been her sister in the ballroom. I can't imagine what she's going through right now.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
I have no regrets. I did exactly what I had to do. I'd do it again. If it means defending Halcyon's future, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host, a bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite recreational substance obsolete. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again. A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as a threat. In its natural state, the relationship between symbiote and host is perfectly harmless. Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent. Ludovico murdered my sister, Inspector. He killed Belinda with his own hands. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot, they were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do. I went through them. She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to stay silent. I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. But in the end, I was the faster shot. Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal. You call it murder? I call it disarming my enemy. The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
You're being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes. That doesn't surprise me at all. He was on Ludovico's side, just like the others. You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help me put a stop to this.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon's only chance at real happiness. Think of the future, Inspector. A lifetime of bliss and joy for every colonist in Halcyon. We can make that happen.
It's a deal.
Wow. I can't believe we're running with Halcyon Helen!
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get out of here.
Not so fast. I've sealed the bulkhead doors. You're staying right where you are. I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosives. Your death should be instantaneous. Goodbye, Inspector. Helen, we won't meet again.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Follow me and stay close. Head through that door. There's another way out. Head through that door. There's another way out. Operations, but he's still at large. He's probably gone into hiding, so we're going to root him out. This entire complex has been exposed to those parasites. Law only knows how many they've infected. Most of them won't even know they're carrying a parasite inside of them. If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Boundless energy, insufferable joy, an almost saccharine attitude of optimism. Then just like that, parasites bursting out of their bodies. Fat and wriggling with vital energy. You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. Clearly a woman of many talents. An airborne pesticide of some kind. I think you may be onto something. Let's meet back at your penthouse. We'll ready our next move. Not here. In private, back at the penthouse. Also, I rather like the ambiance there. See you soon, Inspector.
juice fresh. Actually, never mind. I don't want to know. Oh, you are in for it now.
Here they come!
Me? I'm pleased this time.
I just want to make you smile.
Don't hurt me!
Please, just leave me be.
What floor would you like to visit? Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda. Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence. I appreciate the sympathy, Inspector. Thank you. I'll appreciate your help even more. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect, and actually made you immune to the parasites. Precisely. I see we're in your wheelhouse, Inspector. Or do you prefer Doctor? We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Piraeus spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of sprat essence. As for the pod, I'd check the Wilderness Reserve if I were you. I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Here's what I understand. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. That's probably when she decided to switch to human testing. I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. Used the ingredients to synthesize an antiparasitic. I'm glad I could count on your expertise. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the cure into the atmosphere. That should kill off most of the parasites. The more severe cases are beyond saving. I'm afraid there's not much we can do for Groundskeeper Yarbo. There is one other thing. While you're at Piraeus Spaceport, have a word with Cedric Kincannon. I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance to eliminate Ludovico. We could use him on our side. Best of luck, Inspector. I'm counting on you. I'm not accustomed to talking about Belinda, but I'm also not accustomed to the kind of sympathy you showed me earlier. So I'll make an exception for you. Belinda and I shared the role of Helen, but she was also the only person who knew the real me. To the rest of the colony, I'm Halcyon Helen, but to my sister, I was just Ruth. I could be myself around Belinda, and she could be herself around me. She was my only sister, but she was also my only friend. No. Belinda enjoyed the secrecy. She could slip into the role of Halcyon Helen, attend social events on my behalf, perform a few stunts, deliver a few lines. And then, when she grew tired of all the people and all the attention, all she had to do was slip out of the role and be my sister again. She was the secret twin. She had a comfortable life in the shadows, an easier life. I made sure of that. What I want is my sister back, but I'll settle for killing Ludovico. Parents, naturally. An agent, a couple of directors. None of them had any reason to reveal the truth. To them, Helen was a brand. Revealing our secret meant damaging that brand. Damaging that brand meant losing money. Nobody in this colony wants to lose money. Belinda and I saw Helen as an act of theatric sleight of hand. We enjoyed the deception, the challenge. We wanted to see how far we could go. And if I hadn't underestimated Ludovico, you and I probably wouldn't be talking about Belinda in the past tense. We wouldn't be talking about her at all. It should have been me in that ballroom. Belinda died because I was careless. Never mind that. If you've got something else to ask me, now's the time. I'm glad I could satisfy your curiosity. It's a long story, Inspector. It was supposed to be just another marketing job. Rizzo's wanted Halcyon Helen to be the face of Spectrum Brown. Some hideous concoction served with a dead parasite. All we had to do was spend a few weeks on Eridanos. Shake some hands, sign a few autographs, drink a bottle of Spectrum Brown in front of a camera, and try to smile. Belinda didn't want to go. But I wanted a change of scenery. In any case, we couldn't possibly say no. I'm an actress by trade. Pretending to enjoy Spectrum Brown was one of the hardest roles of my career. Belinda always hated endorsement deals. They felt cheap to her, inauthentic. She always believed her first priority was to our fans, and not the company that bought us out. Belinda and I arrived on Eridanos and played our usual game of trading places. We were practically flawless. Even Ludovico didn't know about us. Belinda was unhappy for the first few days, but then she met Bertie Holcomb. Bertie treated her like a human being and not just an Aetherwave icon. They were just about perfect. Bertie has a dreadful temper. I was worried about Belinda for a while, but she told me he'd never lay a finger on her, and I took her at her word. Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. It was Ludovico. I had a feeling Ludovico was hiding something. Belinda stayed busy socializing with the celebrities around the complex. That gave me some time to do a little digging. I saw everything. The test subjects, the parasites. Spectrum Brown was never safe to drink. Those harmless, dead parasites at the bottom of every bottle. They were just dormant. They would have sold out in a month. This colony loves novelty. They'll eat up any new product we toss their way. A new cereal, a new Spectrum flavor. Ludovico knows that. From Emerald Vale to Byzantium, a parasite in every brain and a grin on every face. Every last one of us trapped behind a mask of joy. That's what Ludovico wants. I was careless. I was risking Belinda's life every step of the way, and I never even realized. I wish it were that easy. Still, thank you. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? Yes, Inspector. I did. Leora Blossom and Maria Keene were on Ludovico's side. They chose to stand between me and my sister's killer. I had to cross them off. Would you believe me if I said I gave the constable a chance? I spoke to her in her office. I told her everything. Belinda, Ludovico, the parasites, all of it. Maria said I was guilty of corporate sabotage, and that she had a duty to report me. She told me how sorry she was, and I told her the same thing. And then I shot her. Maria was defending my sister's killer. If someone murdered one of your crew in cold blood, what would you do? So you do understand. Was there anything else? Yes, this is mine. I'd kept notes on everything I suspected, everything I'd discovered. It's all here, all in code. Belinda and we had a secret way of communicating. Words and phrases that had a special meaning to us. Numbers and dates that were only important to the two of us. Only 2 people in the universe knew that language. That's kind of you. Thank you. You don't know how many times I relived this moment in my mind. I discovered what Ludovico was up to when I toured the orchards. I threatened to expose his plan. Ludovico decided to eliminate me. He programmed Burbage 3001 to fire on his command and disabled the security cameras in the ballroom. Only, he didn't know about Belinda. I'm sure he thought it was my skull he caved in with a bottle of Spectrum Brown. Burbage covered his blow with the plasma shot, and then Ludovico wiped his memory. I don't think he expected you to be so competent. In the end, hiring you may have been his undoing. I went after Leora Blossom, and you were just 1 step behind me. I programmed an automech to steal some explosives from Cedric, but you weren't far behind. You were always hot on my heels, 1 step behind and catching up. I realized I'd have to throw in with you or eliminate you. I like your confidence. Take that with you when you hunt down Ludovico. Hello, Inspector. What can I do for you?
What floor would you like to visit? To the lobby we go!
So what's the plan?
I'm too valuable to die!
It's real pretty up here. Almost like they cut out a piece of Terra 2 and brought it up to the sky.
Big mistake. Incoming! Covering you! My legs!
I was nearly attacked by a terror ray on my way here. Do be careful. I was nearly attacked by some violent lunatics.
Here they come!
Shreds, you say?
Captain, what is this place and why is everybody acting so strange? Oh, law. They ain't cannibals, right?
By concentrating on profit, I can invite wealth into my life.
Captain, what is this place and why is everybody acting so strange? Oh, law. They ain't cannibals, right?
Here they come. Smile, Jam. Covering you. Not gonna let no one bring me down. Oh, you are in for it now.
It's not working! Wonder what they use this bunker for. Here they come! I am a
incoming!